Okay, hello and welcome everyone for joining this webinar. We're going to talk about the APC offer from Cambridge University Press for EIFL countries, researchers in EIFL countries. So my name is Romy Beard, I'm the EIFL Licensing Programme Manager, and we've got Caz Kerbyson from Cambridge on the call here as well. So I'll do the first part, probably numbers 1 to 4 on this agenda, to talk you through the offer through EIFL and the information that we've put on our website, and then I'll hand over to Caz to show how you can actually claim the waivers and discounts. So just a couple of housekeeping things. If you've got any questions, please put them in the chat box and we'll take a look at them. And if you're watching this webinar later and recorded it, our email address is at the end, or at least my email address is, so please just leave a message and we'll try and answer your questions later. So I'll jump straight in. First, I wanted to give a little bit of context on who is the EIFL licensing program and what do we do. So in the past, what we've done is focus on negotiating agreements with publishers as well as service providers on behalf of EIFL member countries. And traditionally, this has been for access to content. But with the global move to open access, we've wanted to help accelerate that and have included elements in our agreements with publishers that are waived or discounted article processing charges for EIFL researchers, as well as some publish and read agreements. So it's in the context of that this is particular focus, not on the access side, but just on the APC offer side of this agreement. And we now have 5 agreements with publishers, and they can all access them on the new area on our website, eifl.net/APCs. And the previous agreements are with Sage, Taylor & Francis, Edward Elgar, De Gruyter, and now also Cambridge University Press. So on that page, you can search and find information about these different agreements. And I'll show you the Cambridge pages in a minute. But in case you're completely new to this topic and you don't know what are article processing charges, so there's our fees that authors pay in order to have the article published in open access. And this is a fee that covers the cost of publication. So things like running peer review, copy editing, typesetting, hosting the article. And it's a fee that is generally paid after the article has been published and after it's been accepted for submission. Accepted for publication, sorry. And it's important to point out that it has nothing to do with the submission process as such. Some people get confused about it and they think, oh, if I pay this fee, then I'll get published. It's actually at publishing houses completely separate, and maybe Caz will talk about this later, that the people who decide whether the article gets published or not are not the people who, process the waiver or the discount. So it's not that you have less chance of getting published because you get a waiver. It's completely separate. So if an author publishes an article in a subscription access journal, they usually don't pay an APC because the journal makes money through the subscription income. But if you publish in an open access journal, most of the time there is an article processing charge to cover this cost, although there are also some articles that accept open access publications but don't charge APCs, and it could be just for a limited period of time or if the journal starts out. But it in general you have either you pay to access or you pay to publish. So the advantage of publishing in open access is quite clearly that more people can read your research. It's disseminated worldwide. There's no cost for libraries, and you get greater exposure, so more impact, more downloads, more references, and your research will be read more widely. In terms of who pays the APCs, this varies from country to country, and we've recently done, as part of different working groups, done some research into this. So it can be paid by research funders through research grants, authors paying out of their own pocket. It can be institutions paying on behalf of the authors, and increasingly also libraries that are taking charge of these payments. The way our agreements work just now, it's still in the name of the author. So if the author gets a discount, they would pay the other half, but obviously if the institution pays on half of them, or they might get reimbursed, So at the moment, no agreements with libraries as such, other than the publish and read agreements that have been signed. And I also wanted to just quickly define corresponding author, because that's going to come up a lot in the next few slides. Who is the corresponding author and what do we mean by that? It's the main contact if more than one author work on an article together. So if you have 20 authors collaborating, it's usually one person who is the main contact with the publisher. They receive email updates about the article process, the article's process during the peer review, and they will also receive the peer review decision on the article, the production proofs to check. So that's the main contact person, and all the agreements usually specify that it's the corresponding author in a certain country who would be eligible for a discount. So if you collaborate with 10 other people and the corresponding author is in the United States, you would not qualify for the waiver or discount, even if you're based in one of the EIFL countries. So you need to be the corresponding author. So what is the Cambridge University Press offer? So we have 3 categories actually. First one is the waiver countries, so corresponding authors from the countries listed here, from Congo up to Zimbabwe. They can publish for free in any of the fully open access journals only. And the next group is the discount offer, so the corresponding authors from the countries from Armenia through Georgia, Kosovo up to Uzbekistan, listed here. They qualify for a 50% discount on the article processing charge. And again, this applies to the fully open access journals, the gold journals only, not the hybrid journals. And thirdly, there's the publish and read offer, which has been offered to Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, and Belarus. And in that case, once this offer has been taken up, there's unlimited free publishing in fully open access as well as hybrid journals. And Lithuania and Estonia have signed these publish and read offers. So for them, the hybrid journals would be included as well. So I just want to show you the Cambridge APC page on the EIFL website. So if you, at the top, you see this, what we do, from there you actually get straight to the APC page, and you can list all the different agreements. So on this page, there has some information about how long is this agreement valid for, what subjects are covered, what are the terms and conditions. Literally what I've just shown in the previous slides is listed here. So next I wanted to show you how we can find the eligible journals. So we have 35 fully open access journals that those are the titles that are eligible for most countries. So that's what we focused on in the kind of official communications on this page. And in addition, there's 333 hybrid journals also eligible for Estonia and Lithuania who signed for the publish and read. So we have 2 different places. We have a general title list with all the Cambridge titles. So this is the fully open access titles only. So this applies to all the countries. And then we also have country specific title lists, and they're both linked from the page I just showed you. So these titles lists include not just journals that are eligible through the Cambridge offer, but also the other publishers. So we literally just communicated these at the end of last week, Thursday, Friday. So there you have your list for Armenia, would include not just the Cambridge titles, but also Sage de Gruyter. So you've got researchers can have one place where they can search eligible journals. So this is the bottom of the Cambridge page that I showed you. So the first 2 links where it says this title list, view the title list here, links to the generic list just for Cambridge titles. And then if you go to the country name at the bottom and you click on your country, this is where you can download the country specific list that goes across the different publishers. We plan to hold another webinar just about all these title lists across the different agreements, so focus on Cambridge just now, but I wanted to point out those title lists since we have just sent them out last week. Once you've opened, then this is the generic list the general Google sheet, you can find information about the list price APC. So the question was, how do I know, I get a 50% discount, but how do I know what I actually need to pay? So we've listed APC, the standard APC. This will be updated twice a year. So this has only just been updated. And you then calculate 50% discount off that price. So that's how you can figure out exactly how much you need to pay. So this is the general Cambridge one, which you can search by subject, journal title, and so on. And this is the country specific list, which also includes the APC. The list price APC is just one column over, and this includes titles from all publishers that we have agreements with. I hope that makes sense. Then I wanted to point you towards this page on the Cambridge University Press website. So we aim to update the title list twice a year. So the next we'll update again will be mid-year. But if you want to double check to make sure nothing has changed in the meantime, if you go click on this link that's highlighted in blue, you get to the Cambridge University Press page. From there, you can download the list of APC charges, which is another spreadsheet. So it's similar, it's journal information, but it's just subject information that is not in this. And obviously this is just a Cambridge offer. And that's everything. I just want to go back and show you one more thing. On this page, the country specific title list includes titles from all publishers, but also the actual APC offer. So you have a mix of, or it might be some publishers where you get waivers or others where there's a discount. So everything is in one place. So you can send that to researchers and they can, you know, get a full picture. So again, that's the difference between the spreadsheet that's just a Cambridge title. It doesn't include the offer because it's across all the countries. Okay, I hope that made sense. I'll check if there's any questions. I can't see anything. And if not, then I will hand over to Caz so you can show us what actually happens, how you submit to the journal, where do you put, you know, how do you actually claim the discount? What do you need to do? Does it happen automatically? And so on. Thanks,
Thank you, Romy. So just give me a shout. I am sharing now, but just let me know. Can you just confirm if you can
Yeah,
see
I can
my
see,
screen?
yeah.
Wonderful. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining and to hear about this topic. So I'm going to give you a really brief walk through the entire author journey, basically, and a lot of it will be quite familiar to you, I think, or it'll be very similar to other publishers. But I didn't want to just show how you can apply the waiver in isolation. I wanted to sort of put it in context of everything else. So here's the basic workflow, and for this APC waiver, we're going to be looking in particular here at the transaction process. But I'll just very briefly take you through these other steps today, and I promise I won't bore you too much, but I think it's important just to touch on it. Now, Romy did mention this, but just to reiterate it, some of you will have waivers because you belong to a Research for Life Group A country or Group B country, so you'll either get a fully waived APC or a 50% waived APC because you're in a low to middle income country. Some of you will have your article processing charges paid for because you are at an institution which has signed up for a read and publish deal with us. And I'll discuss both ways of claiming your waiver during this presentation. It's effectively the same basic route in, just a very subtle difference at the end. Just so you know, the slides just in, we work with a company called RightsLink, and all of your article processing charges will be transacted through RightsLink, but this is just a bit of a heads up of what's to come, but there'll be more on this later, so don't worry too much about dwelling for too long on this slide. So just a very brief overview on the manuscript preparation. This isn't a full, a full how to publish presentations. We're just going to whiz through these ones. Very similar to most publishers' platforms, I would have thought. When you have an article that you're ready to submit to a journal and you've chosen your journal, you need to go to that journal's homepage on Cambridge Core, and you can find the information button. And this will give you information on the manuscript preparation, so the instructions for contributors. That's where we keep all the information on how your article needs to be formatted. Just mentioning this as well, because we have these read and publish agreements in place, and because of our open access waiver policy with our EIFL and Research for Life for certain institutions, we do try and remind authors at every stage that their article processing charge may be covered. So you've got this on the right hand side here, you've got this quite nice box on the journal's homepage here, and you can find out more there as well. Once again, you get another nice little pop-up when you go onto the instructions for contributors page, just to say again, oh, by the way, your open access, your author processing, article processing charge might be covered. So there's lots of reminders for you at every stage of the journey there, just to prompt that your institution may already be participating in a read and publish deal, or you maybe from a low to lower middle income country, in which case we would waive or give you a 50% discount. So just once you've got your article in the required state, you then go next door to the information button. There's a submit your article button, and this is where you'll actually send your article through to us. So Romy did mention actually previously on this session that at this stage of the game, we will not have any idea whether you want to publish open access or not. That comes right at the very end. So we're saving the best bit till last. It's very important. As a publishing house, our main objective is to uphold the integrity of the academic record, and ethics has to be front and centre. So at this stage, while your article's being submitted, while it's under review, we don't want to know whether you intend to pay for it to be published or not. You're going to submit your article, and then you'll need to submit your manuscript through a manuscript submission system. We have a few that we work with just to make matters less than easy. We've got Scholar One, and we've got Manuscript Central, and some of our journals have their own submission process. So you'll need to sort of click that submit your article button, and then you come in, and it should be fairly straightforward from here on in. Either create an account or log in to Manuscript Central or Scholar One. And you can log in with your ORCID ID, which we encourage because it's great for us to be able to tag your research with that information. And then we have that information right off the bat when you submit. And then, of course, you'll need to navigate through the manuscript submission software to begin your submission. It might be subtly different depending on which manuscripts submission system that they are using. So don't always expect it to look like Scholar One. You might be using Manuscript Central, but it should be reasonably similar workflow. Once you've submitted your manuscript, and should it pass through the editorial review, it will then go for peer review. So you'll receive a confirmation email to say that we've got your manuscript. And then, as I'm sure most of you are aware, it's then a little bit of a waiting game while the various parties review your work and make sure it holds up to the rigorous standards that we expect for content published in our journals. So it goes through quite a strict quality control process. Apologies whilst you're waiting anxiously to get a response on that. And still at this stage, no ability to tell us if you want to publish open access. It's still going through the review process. So just moving on to happily, when you get a decision on your manuscript, you'll receive an email to inform you about this. So hooray, so time to celebrate, you've got something that we're going to publish. And here's where we start to look now at the workflow for your article processing charge. So you'll actually have a link to the author publishing agreement, because we need you to complete this regardless of whether you intend to publish open access or non-open access. I should imagine most of you will be publishing open access, as you have access to quite a lot of, to either, you should have access to either a waiver or a discount, or your institution should be participating in a read and publish deal. So from this email, this acceptance email, you'll go through to click through to the author publishing agreement, and this takes you back, effectively you're back on the journal homepage on Cambridge Core, and you have the option to choose here whether you would like to sign an open access publishing agreement or a non-open access publishing agreement. So do read carefully, because it's quite wordy, but it's on the front page. It does tell you which one you are intending to sign up for. So you've got your non-open access articles section here, and then below that we have the open access articles agreements. We are trying to get those switched over so that open access articles is at the top, because obviously, you know, as we go on and on, that's going to be more and more of a popular choice. But for now, apologies, open access agreements are just below non-open access agreements. And once you've completed your publishing agreement, you email that back to us, and then you will be requested to pay your article processing charge. Now, of course, most of you won't actually be required to pay, but you still have to complete the process as if you were going to pay. So you'll need to create a RightsLink account. We do all of our transacting through RightsLink, and you'll get a link to that from they'll send you, RightsLink will send you an email once your article's been accepted and we receive your author publishing agreement back. You then log into RightsLink, and you go to the button with details. You have details of your article, and there's a button here to pay charges now, raise an invoice, which might seem counterintuitive if you are actually getting your article processing charge waived, but bear with me. That is definitely the button you need to press to pay your charges or to raise an invoice, and then you are taken through to a screen which shows your open access charge is this much, that's how much your article processing charge is, and you need to request to apply a discount. This is the big key part of it. This is where you'll go to. So you may be getting a discount because you belong to a country where we waive the article processing charges. I'm going to mention those in a minute. You may belong to a country where we offer a 50% discount on the article processing charge, or your institution may have a read and publish agreement, which means they will cover the article processing charge for you. So those are the three options. If you're not sure, then do check our lists. So I will show you actually where you can find the lists of eligible countries. And if your country is not on there, I would still talk to your librarian, because they may very well have taken up a read and publish agreement. Romy did mention the few that we have through EIFL, so it's still worth checking. So you click to apply discounts here, and you'll then be taken through to the apply discounts page. If this is just where there's a little difference whether you are coming from a low to lower middle income country or whether your institution has a read and publish deal. If you are eligible for a discount because you belong to a Research for Life category A or B country, you just need to select country discount and select your country, and then we'll apply that discount and then click apply discounts. So then your article processing charge will either be entirely waived or you'll get 50% reduction. If you belong to an organisation which is participating in a read and publish deal, you need to do your affiliation discount. So you just search for your organisation and find your institution, and then you'll apply your discounts once again. You should then be taken back to this page and the appropriate discount should have been applied. And here is the map of the low to lower middle income countries who are eligible. So the blue ones there are getting a 100% waiver. So we completely waive the article processing charges, and the orange ones there get 50% discounts if you publish with us. And then we also have the read and publish agreements with the consortia, which Romy mentioned previously. It's a lot of opportunity to get your article processing charge waived. And just a little bit of text here. So the Research for Life country list, I'm sure that you're all reasonably familiar with this, but I will just click this link just to show you the lists. It's on Research for Life's website under access and eligibility, and you've got your group A free countries, so we completely waive the article processing charges for these countries, and then we've got the 50% discount in place for these countries. Okay, well, I did promise not to drone on at you for too long, so that's everything from me. I hope that was clear, but do let me know if you have any questions. Be very happy to answer those for you. Or you can always email academictraining@cambridge.org as well.
Thanks, Caz. Thank you. Let's see if there's any questions from anyone. I know there's not that many people here. Irakli, Cecile, I've got David. I don't know the other two people. Looks like someone from Thailand, possibly. If there's any questions, please pop them in the chat. If there's anything unclear that Caz said. I mean, we have, maybe it's worth just showing that page again as well. If you can stop sharing and I can try again. Thanks. No, having trouble with that again. Oh, there's a question from Irakli coming up.
Yeah, we shall indicate our country, but shall we indicate an institution after that? Oh, that's an excellent question.
Well, I think you've answered that. I can answer that. So if it's a waiver or discount country, you just need to put the country.
Yeah.
And if it's a publishing reads, if it's Estonia, Lithuania, then you need to list your institution because that's limited to certain institutions and it's not countrywide.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. Great student.
Excellent. I wanted to go, and it's working now, to the page that lists exit. How do I get out of here? The information on our website about this agreement, because that's basically describes what you showed us, and I think you've had a look at this. So this is the Cambridge page. How does it work? So this is what you've basically showed us. That you need to email, you need to register with white links, you have to complete the process, and then you have to do the apply discounts. So maybe we could update that with a sentence to explain about the difference between stating country and stating institution.
Yeah.
Cool. I have another question. Yes, it's all institutions in Georgia. I mean, the rating agreement is it's corresponding authors in eligible institutions in eligible countries. So it's not on the institution level in Georgia. There won't be verification about which institution you're from, but it's across the country. So any corresponding author that's, based in Georgia.
Yeah, because you're on the Group B Research for Life category, so you get that discount.
And it's actually the same with all the other agreements as well. We've not done like a verification process on the institutional level because it would just be a bit crazy. I mean, I can understand it for the publish and read because it's limited. There's only, I think, 5 institutions in Estonia, and or 5, yeah, 5, I think it's 5 in Lithuania, 5 in Estonia, so it's only for those, and I know there's some limitations. So there you have to specify the institution. But for Georgia, you're good with informing everyone. I hope that's clear, Irakli. Do we have any other questions? Nope. Okay. Then I think we'll wrap up. Thanks so much, Caz, for taking the time.
Thanks to everyone, and for you for organising this, Romy.
No worries. Thank you. Maybe you could share your slides as well, and I'll put those online. People want to look through them. Yeah. That would be great. And I'll put my slides up as well, and let everyone know.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.